Hey, Tim. This is Danny Smith. Just calling to tell you how much I appreciate listening to your shows, Truckers' Voices. It's very informative. I really like hearing the drivers' stories, how they got into the trucking industry and maybe what kind of trucks they started out with. And it's just been a lot of fun, and I would encourage any drivers out there to tune in and listen, call in, be a part of it. It's a great show.
Hey, this is Chuck Lopesiger, and I listen to Truckers' Voices every Thursday evening from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook or YouTube with host Tim Taylor and co-host Steve Brand, because it keeps me informed about the industry and the drivers that keep our country moving forward. Don't forget, Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there.
Hi, this is Scott Post, and I love Truckers' Voices because there's always something entertaining and educational for our industry. And it's also hosted by two of my good friends, Tim Taylor and Steve Brand. Tune in tonight. And in the meantime, be safe out there.
Hey everybody, how you doing tonight? My name's Charlie Demchuk, and I'm here to welcome you to tonight's big show. Y'all sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Tim and Steve got a good one in store for you. So have a good night. We'll see you.
Hi, this is Tony Wainwright. I hope you enjoy listening to Truckers' Voices as much as I do. Now, without any further ado, kick back, kick your shoes off, air your corns out, and get ready to listen to another fine show.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's doing fine. I hope that you had a great day of trucking out there. Hey, I had a great day of trucking, and it was a beautiful day outside. Everything was just, the temperature was great. The sun was out. I didn't have any raining going on today, and I went on up there to the big ATL and got my loads, turned around and got it back, and kept America moving forward. And I hope that you did the same thing today. Or if you're out there trucking tonight, hey, I hope you keep America moving forward in the safest manner that you can. Hey, we got a good show lined up for you tonight. We got Mr. ERIC Stein coming on here, drives for Warner. And I'm excited to hear Eric's story about how he got into trucking, some of the stuff that he was doing before he got into trucking. And we got a two-part show tonight. For the first 30 minutes, we're going to talk to Eric. And then for the second half of the show, we're going to bring on two gentlemen, Mr. Grady Watson and Mr. Jeff Masters. They're going to come on and talk to us about, developing healthy habits, how we can get ourselves in better shape, and they're going to give some of their testimony. So we got a good show lined up for you. Got a lot of information to throw to y'all in 1 hour. So we're going to pack it all into 1 hour, and we appreciate everybody that's tuning in tonight. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring Mr. Steve Brandon here, and we'll see what old Steve's been up to. So, anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring Mr. Brandon here.
We're rolling. We're rolling. Trying to catch me riding dirty.
All right, Steve, let me get you back in there.
There we go. There we go. We're rolling. We're rolling.
You rolled right on off the screen just then. I don't know what happened there, but you rolled yourself right off the screen.
Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we been on the air, so we're just trying to get everything dialed back in.
There is some cobwebs to get knocked off, and I do apologize to everybody because I know we try to bring y'all information and stories every week, but I had a little bit of sickness going on, and I still ain't completely got over some of it. And now the pollen's everywhere down here in the South. I mean, the blooms are coming out, and the allergies are kicking in, and it is what it is, Steve.
Well, that's it. I was just in Atlanta yesterday afternoon, and the fellow captain I was with, we dropped truck off there in the ATL and got on a plane. But we was commenting about how things are greening up and starting to bud. And I get home last night, get up this morning, head out to the dentist office, and I look around, and I'm seeing some green patches in my yard, and I'm thinking, another month I'm gonna be mowing. But
it ain't gonna be long for sure. So, Steve, before we bring Eric on, I want to talk about what's coming up next weekend, and a lot of our listeners are a part of the Safety Drive for a Cure. I'm excited to go and help try to raise money for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of parts moving. Herschel Evan does just a fantastic job. Little different location this year. And, he's trying to get all that together. And I know it's different for him. So anything that y'all can do to help Herschel out, it would be greatly appreciated. You got something to say, Steve?
No, go ahead. I'm just trying to get things back in order. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, I got a 1 minute video on the pediatric brain tumor I want to play, and then just say something real quick like after it. Okay.
All right.
It would be without the Brain Tumor Foundation and the people that support the Brain Tumor Foundation. Thank you, because it gave us connectivity to real humans who understood what we were going through. You're not alone.
Nicholas, if you were a superhero, who would you be?
I would be Hungry Man.
Who is Hungry Man?
It's me. Right. Now. It's me right now.
It's so important to us, to our child, and to our family as a whole to maintain our family unit. But without your financial support, we wouldn't be here.
All right, Steve. So I wanted to play that because I want everybody to know that every single penny that you have donated and that you are going to donate for the Safety Drive for a Cure, 100% of it goes to the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, and it's to help out families like that right there. They found out that they have a child that's got a dreaded brain tumor, and that's cancer. That's where your money goes to. So, I do these raffles every year, and everybody says, well, I want to be the winner this year. And I always tell them, I say, hey, you are a winner. Anybody that buys a ticket, anybody that pays their money to go and help out and for this charity, you are a winner. So you win every time that you help out. So anyway, Steve.
That's right. All I got to say is if you can't make it next weekend, find your favorite driver, find your buddy, find your pal, make a donation. No donations too big or too small. Every penny counts. Just throw a few bucks at it, and man, it goes to a great cause. It does. And Steve and I, we both, we're in it 100%. We believe in it. We've been doing it for the last 8 to 10 years, at least. Whatever the first year was, I can't remember the first year he put it on down there, opened it up for everybody. But I missed a couple years. Of course, COVID, of course. And then last year I had a banquet up here for the driver of the year. It fell on the same weekend. So, but hey, we're going back this year. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna get to see all the people we haven't seen in a while. Gonna meet new folks. And like I said, dig in them pockets, folks. Sponsor a driver. Throw a donation at it. Check out the auctions. There is some cool stuff in the auctions. Bet on that stuff. He'll get it to you. He'll get it. Right, and you can find that auction on the Safety Drive page, the Safety Drive for a Cure page. So, all right, so we're eating into the time a little bit. So let's get ready to bring our guest in here, Mr. ERIC STEIN. So without further ado, bringing him a proper introduction here. All right, Eric. Glad to have you in here, brother.
How we doing, gentlemen?
Doing
Glad
great.
to be here.
Good to see you, buddy.
So Eric,
You
it's
too.
good to have you. Thank you for coming on Truckers Voices. And this show is all about getting the stories of how people got into trucking out there and your passion. So we're not going to belabor it no more. We just going to give you the floor and tell us who you are, tell us where you're from, and just go right into it, Eric. And we'll be here to listen. Okay.
All right, sounds good. So my name's ERIC STEIN, professional driver with Werner Enterprises. I'm originally from Long Island, born and raised on Lake Grove, New York, which is Suffolk County, Long Island. So my grandfather was a truck driver. Uh, that's pretty much where I got the idea of becoming a truck driver from. Was him. He was a driver back in the 40s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. He helped start the Teamsters unions back then. Um, so my first choice wasn't trucking, though. I really wanted to join the military when I came of age, but I have a metal plate in my wrist and I couldn't do a flat-handed push-up. So none of the armed forces would take me. So I had to choose a different route. So I decided to go to college to become a environmental geoscientist. Earth and space science was my passion. That was what I was really into. So I started going to college for that. And when I needed a job to put myself through college, so I started working in the restaurant business. Started out as a busboy and then a waiter and bartender. And then a couple years later, the kitchen needed some help. So I jumped behind the line and helped them cook one night. And I found something I was really good at and I really enjoyed. So the chef there took me under his wing, and within a couple of years, I was running a kitchen. A couple of years later, I was promoted to executive chef and helped open up a second restaurant. And that was something that I really enjoyed. I was really good at. I still love to cook because I love to eat, so I want to cook good things. It's also helped me in the trucking industry too. But after about 20 years of doing that, I had gotten married and had two kids. I had a falling out. I ended up leaving my first wife, took the kids, and moved back into my parents' house. And I sold the house I had and bought a business, which was a wholesale meat business. So I had two trucks um, delivering meat to all the restaurants. I was going into New York City and the Bronx, to Hunts Point, buying meat, separating it all, and then divvying it up to the restaurants and selling it to them. And that was in '07. '08, everything crashed, and I ended up losing everything. But while I was a chef and doing that, I was always around the truck drivers. They were always delivering the food to me. I was seeing them in the markets, and I always wanted to be a truck driver. I was just always entranced by trucks. So said, you know what? I'm going to go for that. I went to a CDL school on Long Island, a commercial driver training in West Babylon, got my CDL. And then I went and tried to get a job, and nobody would hire me without experience. That was definitely a downer. Um, so I ended up driving a straight truck for a little while, but I really wanted to drive, a Class A truck. So that's what I went to school for, and that was what I really wanted to do. So I sent out one of these mass applications, got phone calls from all these different companies. They wanted me gone for 2 months at a time, 6 weeks at a time, and I told them, I'm a single dad with two girls, two teenage girls. I can't do that. I have to be home at least every weekend. So one company stood out at the time, Werner. They said they have an account that I could go on, that I could be home weekly. Um, it turned out that I was able to be home 5 nights a week on that account. That was the Family Dollar account out of Rome, New York. So I was home 5 nights a week for the first year and a half. Uh, but then I became a leader. So one of my sayings in life is the more people I help succeed, the more successful I can become. So I decided to pass my knowledge to the newer drivers. So I became a trainer. So I've trained well over 100 new drivers at this time. But my career took a really a good path with Werner. I went there to get a year experience to try and get a local job. But 12 years later, I'm still with Werner. And that says a lot about the company and a lot about the opportunities that I had throughout my career. After becoming a trainer, they asked me to become an ambassador, to go to truck driving schools and share my story with the with the new students that were trying to pick their company that they were going to go to. So I was doing that for a while. Then they offered me a new truck to bring to these schools, which was a one of our show trucks called Operation Hero, proudly supporting law enforcement on one side and firefighters on the other. It was very prestigious to drive that truck, all decked out with chrome. It was beautiful. I always kept my trucks looking really good and clean. So it was something that really meant a lot to me.
So
Throughout my yeah.
go ahead, Eric.
So as my career progressed, I got noticed by upper management. They added me to the Werner Road team. So I've been a road team captain for them for the last 5 years. It was a 2-year term that turned into 5 years, which was really nice. I've competed at truck driving championships, which was something I didn't even know about. 2019 was my first year competing. So I competed in Nebraska, and I competed in a 3-axle, which I've never driven before. It was like a little go-kart to me. It was a lot of fun driving a single screw with a pup trailer. But I did really well. I finished I finished in first place. I got Professional Excellence Award, which is the highest written test score. I got Rookie of the Year, and I won Grand Champion my first try.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it was it was very humbling. I never knew I had it in me. And then and then I got that bug, the championship bug. But we had 2 years of COVID, and when I came back in 22, I competed in the twins, which I was running pup trailers. I was running twins for Family Dollar for a while. I'm actually a doubles instructor for Werner too. And so I competed in the twins, and that was difficult. But I ended up winning the twins division there. And turns out I won Grand Champion for my second time. So I'm 2 for 2.
So if I missed it, forgive me, but how long have you been in the trucking industry overall, Eric?
12 years now. Well, 13 years I've had my license. I worked with a local company on Long Island, just driving a straight truck, but I didn't want to do that. And so I've been with Werner for almost 12 years now, and it's been an absolute blessing.
So bring me back to your career as a chef. What kind of chef were you?
So the place I worked at was called Pace's Steakhouse. It's in Hauppauge, Long Island. It was an Italian restaurant at first, and then we changed it to a steakhouse. So it was a combination of an Italian steakhouse. So we did all of our dry aging meats. I helped design the coolers there, helped age all the steaks, cut all the steaks, do a lot of seafood. I hooked up with a couple of seafood drivers that I know, and they turned me on to all this fresh seafood that they would fly in, get fresh halibut from Alaska, fresh tuna from the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of my Long Island friends that were fishermen, they would bring me fresh striped bass or whatever they could catch, weak fish or a lot of flounder. So we always had fresh fish, and that was one of the things we were known for, was great steak, great seafood. And I gave it my all. I was very passionate about it. Had to do everything the best I could. So we were a very successful restaurant. They're still in business now.
Yeah. Steve, you got anything?
No, I'm getting ready to go get a towel and wipe my mouth from all this food he's talking about. Okay, COVID come about, and a lot of guys had to turn to cooking in their truck. Do you cook in your truck? I mean,
I don't. So I'm home weekly. So what I do is I cook on the weekends. So I'll make all my meals, put them in my refrigerator, and bring them with me. Yeah. Okay. I do want to add, so in my travels throughout upstate New York, I used to go to this one truck stop, the Fultonville TA. That's where I used to stay, and it was the closest truck stop to the distribution center. That's where I met my wife, too. So I was single when I first started in the trucking industry, and now I'm married. I met her. She was a waitress at the truck stop. I was her biggest pain in the ass because I was a former chef. I used to give her such a hard time about the truck stop food. But It turns out, we hit it off after a while and went on a couple of dates, and then 5.5 years ago, we ended up getting married. So now we got married on a beach in Maui. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I just got a message that popped up on the side of the screen here. It says from Jennifer, says he's my personal chef.
Yes,
exactly.
I am.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And also Waylon and somebody else is watching. They wanted me to let you know. Waylon
That's my
and I are watching.
grandson. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have our first grandchild, which is grandson. He's 15 months old. We call him little boy because his father lives right up the road, so he's the little boy from up the road. He is absolutely adorable. And every weekend when I get home, all the kids they ask when I'm coming home because all right, what's for dinner? One of the first questions, what you making for dinner?
Getting back to the trucking part of it, Eric, let me ask you this question. Working for Warner, are you on a dedicated route now? Are you just doing mainly
Yes.
Dollar Generals now? Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm on a dedicated account out of Pottsville, Pennsylvania for Dollar General. It's their fresh account, they call it. It's a TCU. We deliver all the milk and dairy and frozen products. I run all over the Northeast. I've delivered from Maryland, Delaware, out to the Ohio border. I've done a little bit of West Virginia, but mainly I stay up north, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, upstate New York. Nobody really likes to come up here in the winter, and I'm all about it. I'm definitely a
You can
polar
have it.
bear. Love that snow.
You can have it, brother. You can have it. I'll stay down here, in God's country down here. I'll take the mosquitoes.
Yeah, I can. I don't like bugs. I love the 8 months of winter up here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, this is the guy here that you see at the Dollar General, and he'll have the rollers lined up out of the trailer, and you're just rolling it down to the back, right?
That's the Family Dollar and Dollar Tree. We use the rolltainers. They're roll containers, so you just wheel them to the lift gate, push them down, and then push them into the back of the store, and they take it from there.
I got you.
Some of them
All
weigh
right.
up over 1,000 pounds, though. So some of them are really heavy. Try pushing them up a ramp. It's not fun, but I still love it. It keeps me active too. One of the best things I love about the dollar accounts that I run is you always staying active. You're never just sitting behind a wheel. I don't think I could ever do that, just sitting behind a wheel for 11 hours a day. It gets monotonous to me. So I like the way it breaks up, making deliveries. It's more like an LTL job than, just a truckload job.
Right, right. So, Steve, you got something?
How many stores do you average on a day?
Anywhere from 8 to I've done 13 in a day. Usually there's anywhere from 4 to 18 stops on a trailer. So they're always 2-day runs, 2 or 3-day runs.
Okay.
Usually you deliver them over 2 days. Yeah.
I don't know how y'all are up there in the Northeast, but I know in the Midwest and down south, there's a dollar store about every 5 miles.
Oh, so, just blink and there's one. Yeah. Any dirt lot, we say there's always memes on Facebook and stuff. You see a dirt lot. Don't worry, there'll be a Dollar General there soon enough.
That's what I said yesterday when I left up here in West Virginia, or the day before. And I said, well, there's a Dollar General store. We ain't lost yet.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Eric, tell us some of the fun stuff that you've did with that beautiful truck that you got.
So the truck, I just got a new one. Now it's more towards just first responders. So it has all the fire, police, and ambulance on it on each side. So I do a lot of like parades. I do a truck convoy for Toys for Tots on Labor Day weekend by my house, upstate New York now. So what we do on that, we travel throughout the couple of towns and then go to Fonda Raceway and parade around the racetrack. Yeah, last year there was over 300 trucks. That's a pretty big one. I do the Special Olympics, where we do a little parade, a little tour, and I get one of the participants in the truck with me. I do a lot of recruiting events with it, going to schools, talking to new drivers. That's one of the things I really love to do. I love going to the schools, sharing my knowledge, telling them about the industry, not just Werner, but about how the whole industry works. And that's
Right.
one of the things. One of my great accomplishments too was becoming part of America's Road Team, where we go around the whole country and do that. We share our knowledge with the new drivers or young drivers with the Share the Road program, which I'm a big fan of. Teaching people how to be safe out there on the road.
Absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, I've had the opportunity to work one of the events with you there in Millersville, Georgia, and yeah, that is. I think the Share the Road is one of my favorite events that I get to do because you know that you're impacting young and up and coming motors, so. Well, we're fixing to get ready to transition here in about 2 minutes with Grady Watson and with Jeff Masters. But before we do that, just Eric, tell me a little bit more about where do you go? I mean, how long are you out? Just kind of give me a good summary of how long you're out in the truck. And you sleep in the truck every night, or are you home every night?
Yeah, so I usually leave out Monday mornings now. You get home Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. So I'm gone most of the week. Sometimes I could get home midweek. It all depends on the schedule. So yeah, it varies mainly, but I'm definitely home at least once every week. So that's just enough time to get some things done around the house, cook dinner, and I always make a lot of extra so I can take it with me.
Right.
And that's one of the things. A lot of people out on the road, especially drivers, they're stuck eating whatever's there, the fast food, the truck stop food. We want to really try and promote health and wellness out here too. So eating healthy is such a big part of truck driving that people don't realize.
Right, absolutely, and I think that's a good spot to where we're going to transition into the next part of our show. We're going to bring Grady and Jeff on here, and they can talk about developing healthy habits and some of the stuff that they've done to see some changes in their life. And so let's just go ahead and get right on into it. Let's bring these gentlemen in here, and we'll all have a good old panel discussion here. So without further ado, I'm going to bring them in on the music that we bring everybody else in on. All right. Welcome to Trucker's Voice. It's Grady and Jeff. It's so good to have y'all on here. And I'm going to introduce, y'all know who I am. I'm Tim Taylor, and I'll let the other gentlemen introduce themselves to you.
How you doing, gentlemen? Steve Brand here. Appreciate y'all coming on. I've kind of met you guys and know you guys through what Tim posts on his Facebook page and everything. So it's a real pleasure to talk to y'all tonight.
Thank you.
And I'm ERIC STEIN. I'm a professional driver and former chef. So I'm looking forward to hearing about some more advice that I could use.
Well, Jeff is just to let everybody know. Jeff is my personal coach, and as well as Grady is his coach. So they're both of my coaches. I guess you could say it that way. And they've helped me out tremendously over the last 6 to 9 months. 6 to 9 months, and it's really made a difference. But I'm just going to jump off of the mic here, and I'm going to give the floor to you first, Grady. I'm going to let you introduce yourself to everybody and tell them, everything about you, and then we'll just toss it right on over to Jeff. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody. My name is Grady Watson, and I live near Hot Springs, Arkansas. And, man, I'm so honored to be on here tonight. And, I got a little bit of everything going on. Been married 21 years next Friday, a week from tomorrow. I got 2 beautiful children. One's about to graduate this year. My oldest daughter, Gabby. My son, Elijah's not too far behind. And, man, I got a lot of different things going on in my life. I'm in ministry, and I also work with people on creating healthy habits and achieving their health goals, and have been. Matter of fact, 6 years ago, the 27th of this month, this journey began for me, not only for myself, but also I've impacted over 1,000 people. So, man, I'm excited to be able to share whatever I'm supposed to share tonight. Whatever you guys want to know, I'll be glad to answer any questions. So I guess I need to pass it off to Jeff.
Yep.
Well, that was pretty easy. He did an introduction and passed off. So I'll actually start talking, and we'll see what Grady tags on. So what about that? Well, I'm Jeff Masters. I live in South Georgia. I live in Valdosta, Lake Park area where Tim lives. So I work in the media. I worked in newspapers for 35 years, and I work in radio now. So it's a fun life. But I'm gonna go into creating healthy habits a little bit and get us started. I started about 2.5 years ago. I walked outside one day and saw my reflection in the window of my car and looked at myself and thought, that's me. And I had been being told by a doctor that I needed to do some different things. I needed to be healthier. I needed to exercise. I needed to eat better. And it hit me when I saw my reflection. And the first step to creating healthy habits is making up your mind. And once I made up my mind that I didn't like who I saw, I didn't like who I had become, and I didn't like how I felt, then I started trying to figure out what to do, and I went about it totally the wrong way. I chose not to eat. I chose not to do what I was supposed to do. Started passing out, started doing all the stuff, and lost some weight. But then I got COVID, gained weight back, and then could not lose it because I wasn't healthy enough after COVID. I was on 13 prescription drugs, and for everything you can imagine. And I couldn't lose the weight, and I got introduced to a program that would help, and that's me. I've lost almost 100 pounds, and been able to, because of the weight loss, I've been able to get off 12 of the drugs, prescription drugs. I'm on one now. So it was all about making up my mind and determining that I needed new habits. And those habits included, instead of drinking 5 soft drinks a day, I was drinking 5 Dr. Peppers every day, and eating packs of Oreo cookies every night, and just all the things that I was doing. And I was introduced to a program that said, you know what, you can change that. And we've been able to do that. And like Grady, I've been able to help some other people, and including Tim, and do by just saying, you know what, you can change your habits and you can still eat. We're not saying you can't eat. We're saying that you need to make better choices. And the program kind of outlines to where you eat smaller portions during the day, and it teaches you so that when you hit your weight loss goal, you can maintain that. And that's what we believe in, is creating the habits so that when you hit your goals, that you don't yo-yo back and gain all your weight back and get unhealthy again, and all the things that you see happen. That's not what we want to happen. And we want to maintain health. So.
Absolutely. And through this program, I started back in, I believe it was March of last year. And I believe it was like by August, somewhere October area, I had dropped 50 pounds, and I felt so much better. And so at that point, I decided that I was going to become a coach myself. So I've got some people that I've coached, and I've helped out. And, the program I absolutely I believe in. Grady, tell us a little bit about your journey as far as, getting healthy and losing weight.
Yeah, like I said, it was 6 years ago this month. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years ago. But, my wife had actually been on the program before I started. And, she had struggled with weight her whole life. She lost 30 pounds the first 2 months. And her coach is now my coach, one of my very best friends, Jeff France. Asked her if she'd be interested in coaching. She said, I want anything to do with it. But, you need to talk to my husband because he's an evangelist and he can talk to anybody about anything. That's pretty much what she said. And, so they were talking to me about, maybe the business side of it, but then I also need it for my health side. And so, I jumped on and I went on a journey to lose 60 pounds in 4 months. And let me just tell you, I played college football back in the day. So, to be big, you had to eat big. And so that mindset kind of like what Jeff was talking about, changing your mind. That mindset has stuck with me from all of 20 years ago when I was in college. And so when you're not an athlete anymore, if you eat big, you get big in a different way for a very bad reason. And so I was, 280 pounds, wearing a size like 44, 42 jeans, and just, I didn't realize how bad I was until I actually started feeling good and realized how bad I actually felt. And so I dropped those 60 pounds in 4 months. And if you had told me 6 years ago that I would have loved eating a salmon salad, I probably would have throat punched you, because in my mindset was vegetables were not food. Vegetables are what food eats. Being here in Arkansas, we going after the deer and the squirrel and the raccoons. That's food. They eat the vegetables. We just eat the meat. But really, I create, like, we went out to eat Sunday afternoon. We had a guest minister at our church, and man, we went to a place and they had burgers and fries and everything. Well, guess what? I had an option to go back to those on mindset or get my salmon salad. Well, guess what? I couldn't wait to eat that salmon salad. It's amazing how your mindset changes. And that's really what it comes down to. With people in our program or people that do other things, the program and supplements and options that are out there to help people. The problem with all those things is it does not make the choice for you. You have to begin to change over time. And so something I love about our program is it actually gave me the baby steps to begin changing my mind, so that way not only could I lose the 60 pounds, or my wife, she would actually went on to lose 117 pounds. And not only were we able to lose the weight, but begin to form those mindsets to change the way we think, so we could lose the weight, keep it off, and have lifelong health. And I want to throw this out here, Tim, that when I started the program 6 years ago, my first 7 weeks on program, I was on the road traveling as an evangelist. So even though I wasn't a trucker, I know what it's like to be on the road and pull the loves and see those hot dogs on the rollers. Someone got the cheddar cheese and the jalapenos. I'd get 2 of those and 2 big giant Reese cups and 2 Dr. Peppers. And that was my dinner on the way home from preaching. And that was almost standard. And now I can go into those places and not get that Dr. Pepper and not get those Reese cups or those hot dogs, and just forgo that and make some better choices.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the reason I wanted you to come on Truckers Voices is because this program that I've been on is so easy to do and so portable. I love it. I pack my lunch every day and I put my stuff in there, and it's just so easy, and that's what I needed. I needed something that was easy, that fit me, and something I could stick to. And I'm eating all the time. That's the crazy thing about it, is I'm eating all the time on this program here. So anyway, I'll back off the mic and see if these other 2 gentlemen got anything they want to jump in there and ask you guys.
I would definitely.
Go ahead, Eric.
So I'm a diabetic. So a lot of issues I have is finding those healthy choices and just being wrapped up in the sweets, little Debbie's and all these little snacks. Does this help with the blood sugar, this program? How do you get away from those cravings and stuff?
Yeah, I will tell you this, that my father-in-law was a type 2 diabetic, was on, matter of fact, everybody's onto these weight loss shots like Ozempic. Well, he was taking Ozempic. He lost 100 pounds in 5 months and came off his Ozempic. So one thing, to help you regulate your blood sugar, yes, and that's the key, is eating very small, low sugar meals, 5 to 6 small meals a day. That will help regulate your blood sugar, and that's what our program does and what we teach. And we have clinical studies to show that that's how you can reduce, stabilize those blood sugars and be able to begin to, be healthy even as a diabetic.
Yeah, I did the Ozempic for a couple of months. I lost 30 pounds. My blood sugar dropped. Everything was great, but it just didn't agree with me physically. So I had to stop it. So now I am actually looking for something else. I guess something to hold me more accountable. I make healthy meals, but I'm in all these Dollar Generals every day, and I see all these little snacks and chips and all this stuff, and It calls me.
And it really helps on the program, like Tim said, that you're eating consistently during the day, so you don't have those times to where your hunger is peaking and you're walking into that store then and going, oh, I'm starving, I need something now, and you grab the Reese cup. So that's part of it, is by putting something in consistently. And the bars and the shakes and we call them fuelings that you eat during the day, the food that you eat during our program, was developed to where it is nutritionally balanced, and you get the nutrition that you need, the probiotics that you need, everything in there, so your body recognizes that you're giving it what it needs. And so that helps with the cravings as well. So it is designed to help exactly in the situation you're talking about here.
Yeah, and if I can chime in too on the accountability side, Eric, like with the program, like, it's not just, the fuelings or the food you get from the program, it's the community of support and your coach. And so like this is something that I tell my clients is nobody succeeds dieting in the dark. And what we mean by that is a lot of people want to try to do something to get healthy or lose weight, and they try to do it on their own or not let anybody know that they're doing that. But with our program, number one, your coach is going to know that you're doing it. And number two, we have like a community support, like Facebook page. We do community-wide Zoom sometimes where everybody that's on the program is coming together. And so nobody's hiding. There's open accountability. I will tell you this, that personally, probably the greatest thing that could have happened to me when I started the program is I also decided I wanted to coach and try to help some other people, because I saw how it helped my wife. And I was totally living my journey open. I wasn't dieting in the dark. I was letting my life, live out loud and shine. And so it brought accountability. And so that's what I love, is nobody is meant to do life alone. And when it comes to your health, nobody's meant to do that alone. And that's why I love about having a coach and have your community to support you, hold you accountable, so you can do what you need to do.
Yeah, and I will say to the listening audience, as far as what Grady's saying about being a coach, coaching on this program don't cost you a dime. You'll have a coach that's, that's right there with you. And, you can reach out to them. And Jeff, I've reached out to Jeff several times. Hey, Jeff, what about this? Jeff, what about that? And, it's kind of helped me along my journey. And I learned to do it myself. And, I've coached several people and they've lost weight. And I've coached several people now. And I got one guy that's 73, I think, years old. And he travels a lot. He's out in Arizona right now, and he's losing weight. So the program absolutely works. So, Steve, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Steve, go ahead.
Do you guys do you have a guide? I mean, like what you should eat? Everybody wants to, not everybody, but a lot of people like, well, if I go with salads, I go with Nutri-Grain bars, I go with stuff like that. It's got to be better than the Ho-Hos and the Suzy Q's and stuff. But do you guys have like a guide that kind of gets you accustomed to what you need to be eating?
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, we do. So like if you were on the program, a lot of your food options are provided for you. But if like, let's say you're not like an ordering customer, you can Google the healthy exchange list, and you can substitute. Like, you mentioned a Nutri-Grain bar. A Nutri-Grain bar is probably not going to get you where you really want to be on your health journey. So you could use like our healthy exchange list to substitute something in its place. So, lean meats, vegetables, small pieces of fruit, the serving of berries, yogurt, nuts. There's things like that we put out there. So like, especially like once you get to your healthy weight, for example, I probably needed to interject this earlier, but we have a habits and health system that works on your mindset, that works on, it's like the educational piece of the program. And so like, it talks about how to fuel your body properly and what to do when you're not ordering the fuelings from the company, or if you don't want to order the fuelings from the company, because it's about getting healthy. It's not so much the weight you lose, it's the life you gain. And so there is education, there's guides, there's tools in place for you to do this if you really want to do it.
Right. Okay.
So Grady, tell us a little bit about the program and the founding of the program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I guess now it's been over 25 years ago. Our co-founder, Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, was one of the top 10 critical care physicians in America, and he realized he was, having people come. He's putting them on medication, performing surgery, and there was one night there was somebody that had a situation, and he couldn't save them, and it really broke his heart that he was felt like he was limited with what he knew with medicine and surgery to help this person. And so he always found himself being reactive to people's problems versus proactive. And he realized he wasn't really getting people healthy, even people he could save and spare their life with surgery and medication. He wasn't really helping them get healthy. So he left his practice to find something to get people healthy. And so for 2 years, this is his testimony. He lived on credit cards for 2 years to devote himself to study to actually find something to get people healthy. And so that's when he developed this program. It's when he developed the Habits of Health system to help people know what to do to have a lifelong journey of health, not just dieting or, we don't even consider our program a diet. We consider it the beginning steps of a lifestyle change. And that's what he developed. And that's where he partnered with a company from years ago called Medifast. He told Medifast, you have, I just went dark. my lights on my truck just turned themselves off. But he said, you got a great Medifast, you got a great system to help people lose weight, but you got to go beyond the weight loss. And so that's when he kind of partnered with them and began to formulate fuelings that didn't have artificial sweeteners in it and were actually very healthy for people to consume. And so 25 years later, OptiV has been impacting a lot of people. Personally, I've impacted over 1,000 clients. And so there is this system. There is this, and I've never seen anything help people not only lose the weight, but give them the tools and the support that they need, that once they get to their goal weight, if they will follow the systems that are in place, they don't ever have to go back to the old habits.
Right. And I was just reading some of the comments over here, and I wish that if you can hear me, Mike Whitehead, call the show at 251-616-2151. We'd like to hear from you, Mike, if you would. Mike is a client of OptiVia. He's a truck driver. He lives in South Dakota, Steve?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I believe it's South Dakota, and he lost a significant amount of weight. So, Mike, if you're listening, if you would call the show, I'd love to put you on there. I've actually went ahead and opened up the phone lines. If anybody else has got any questions, you can call in, and Jeff and Grady and or Eric, if you got a question for Eric, we would love to hear from you. So, I'm going to leave the phone lines open right now. But from that, Jeff. Tell me how hard it is every day to stay on program.
It's not really a hard thing. People think that it's so difficult, but this program is designed. When you go on the program, and it's one of the things I wanted to mention for Steve, was you go on the program and it's designed to where you actually can order your food from the company, and that's the majority of what you need. The other component of that is you have what we call a lean and green meal that you fix yourself. And it's easy. If you know that that's what you've got to have, then it's easy to prepare. One of the challenges with Tim in the beginning was figuring out what to take with him so that he would have the stuff on the road. But then he realized, I remember the conversation we were having of, you don't have to stop and go in the truck stops and get things. When you stop to take your mandatory breaks and the things you have to do, you have stuff in the truck with you, so you eat the right thing, drink the right thing. So if it's a very straightforward program of do this, there's even like a dine out guide that we provide you, that if you end up in a restaurant and you don't know what to order, it tells you. If you're in Longhorn or whatever steakhouse and you need to order, here's what you can order that would be your lean and green meal. And so what that does is it teaches you to make those decisions. We also have you measure your food while you're doing your lean and greens. Why do we do that? So that you can then start being able to eyeball what 7 ounces of protein looks like, what your vegetable serving should be. So then if you end up in those restaurants where there's buffets, you can make the right choices, but you also make the right portion choices. So
Right.
it's all about just creating new habits and education so that you can do it. So Tim, it's easy to stay on the program because you're just taught how.
So is this like it's like a low calorie? So what you're trying to do is do like a calorie deficit. This way, your body's burning more than what you're taking in, but you want to put the right stuff in your body at the same time.
Well, sort of. It is a lower calorie. If you look at it from a calorie, it is a lower calorie diet, but it's not really designed just to be low calorie so you burn more than you take in. What it is, it's low calorie, but it's nutrient dense. So a lot of people will do low calories, but they don't get the nutrients they need. With this, it is a lower calorie daily intake, but you get 100% of the 24 essential vitamins and nutrients you need. You get enough protein from it that you need. Actually, you get over 125% of your daily protein intake you get on this program, and you get the right amount of your veggies, your right amount of your carbohydrates. So everything's balanced. So yeah, it is lower calorie, but it's not, hey, burn more than you take in. It's lower calorie, but get enough nutrients to sustain yourself, or to fuel your body. That's why we call the food items fuelings, because you're fueling your body, but give your body what it needs so it's not deprived.
Right. And speaking of fuelings, there, Grady, how do they come? Is it something that I'm going to have to, go and find a microwave or something, or how does that work?
Okay, so we've got grab and go items which are open and eat, and then we also have some that can be microwaved in less than 90 seconds.
Hold on, Grady. We got a call coming. Let's take this call, okay?
Go ahead.
Hey, welcome to Truckers Voices. Who do we have on the line? Mike, let's see. Can y'all hear him?
No.
I don't know if we're connected to the Mike. If you could hang on. I'm going to hang up, Mike, and I'm going to call you back, okay? I got to get him connected up to the board here. Go ahead with your thought there, Grady. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's good. I forgot exactly how I was talking. Well, I was talking about, you talk about how do you prepare them? Well, half the food is open and eat. So we got bars. There's some things called crunchers, which is kind of like, a chip type item that you just pretty much open the package and eat. There's shakes you can open, put in a blender bottle, shake it up, have a shake. And then the rest of it can be microwaved usually in 90 seconds or less. Like there's brownies, there's cookies, there's muffins. And one of my favorite that I've just really grown to love here recently is the cinnamon roll cake fueling that they've come out with. So, pop it in the microwave, usually less than 90 seconds, you're ready to eat.
Nice.
How recent is that? Because I hadn't seen that. I just placed an order the other day.
I think it came out right before Christmas, I believe.
Oh, okay. I need to go check that out. I'm gonna call Mike back, but go ahead, Steve, if you got a question. When Mike comes in, I'll just bring him right on in the conversation. Okay.
Just bring him on in. That'll be fine.
Okay.
What's this? Everybody's going to be asking? What's this cost?
Man, let me tell you. You go in that truck stop. You buy 2 old hot dogs and a couple of candy bars. You're probably gonna rack up a big bill, but you're looking at about just under $13 a day to be able to purchase your food for the program. So it's cost neutral to what most people spend.
All right, we got Mike Whitehead online. Mike, go ahead and say hey to everybody. Let's make sure everybody can hear you.
Hey, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Mike. Got you.
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear, Mike. It's all in being connected, brother, and that's what we're about, is being connected.
I hear you.
So Mike,
no, this program
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say this program that you guys are talking about is amazing. My wife and I got on it maybe 3 years ago or whatever, and I'm a line haul driver. I drive 646 miles a day. I every night I pack my little Ziploc bags as my fuelings, take them with me, come home, have my lean and green. The program's amazing.
Yeah. So Mike, do you as long as you've been doing it, how much weight have you lost, Mike?
I've lost over 50 pounds with it.
Yeah.
Right now I'm kind of more on the maintenance end of it, So.
Right. And so Mike, how hard was it for you when you first got started?
Actually, it was really easy. I mean, you drink plenty of water. If you kind of get that hunger feeling, I carry water with me all the time in the truck, and just in between my feelings, I'd, drink water.
Right. And I know my coach Jeff, whenever I first got started, he told me, he was up front with me. He said, hey, the first 3 days is going to be the hardest days, and then on the fourth day it gets easier because your body is changing, it's getting acclimated to burning the fuel and all. So anyway, do any of you guys got anything for Mike here that you want to ask him or talk to him about? Crickets. Come on, Steve. I know you. You're not never slack for words.
I was waiting to see if Jeff or Grady had something there. Mike, do you have any problem with getting cravings later at night? In between snacks.
Well, like I said, sometimes I did, and that's when I would drink water, or still do drink water. Plenty of water, I think, is a major key to this success too.
Yes.
Right.
Make sure you have plenty of water.
Well, Mike, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it, man. And it's good to hear from somebody that actually has lived it out, and we appreciate it. So have a good night, and thank you for calling Truckers Voices.
You bet. Thank you guys for taking my call. We'll talk to you later.
See you around, buddy.
Truck safe, brother.
I just had to move my truck. They're putting rock salt down.
Wow.
You see what time it is tonight, Steve?
Yeah, I see that. We need to get the information out there, website, phone number, whatever we need to get.
I'll let Grady or Jeff handle that end of it.
All right.
Best thing for you to do, and as I would say, this is if you want more information. I don't know I hope y'all see the same thing I see. But there's a guy in the left-hand top, the screen that says Tim Toolman Taylor. And he's the host. Reach out to that guy. He can get you pointed in the right direction. He's a great coach. And set up a time, do a health assessment over a brief phone call with them. And because we got different plans that meet different needs. Our staple program is the 5-1 plan, but we got a plan for everybody. We got a plan for nursing mothers that want to lose weight. And I've had to help 2 nursing mothers lose over 40 pounds in about 4 or 5 months while nursing the baby. So reach out to Tim. He'll point you in the right direction.
All right, Grady. And Jeff, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the special that the program's having right now.
Yeah, we've got a really good thing going on right now to where your first month order, you will get $190 off, which is significant off your order. And then they give you a 30% rebate off your second month. And that's going on through, I think it's April 12th. So that gives you a little bit of time, but to get the health assessments done. But don't let that scare you. A lot of times I think when people have to have health assessments done, they think, oh, it's not. It's just a lot of questions so that we will know how your health is, so we can make sure we guide you the right way. So Tim can certainly help with that. Grady and I both are always here to back Tim up if he needs us. We'll hop on calls as well if y'all have questions. But Tim's certainly able to help you as well.
Yeah, and absolutely. If you become get on the program, you become a Premier member. You get a little bit of a discount every month on that. Also, by being a Premier member, as me being your coach. So,
how much does this run a month approximately?
It runs about $13 a day, and that includes all your food and everything except your lean and green that you'll need. So it's what I tell people is look at what you spend when you stop at the convenience store and grab a coffee and grab stuff. You can have your whole day's food and it be healthy choices, the right choices at your fingertips for the money that you're spending walking in a convenience store.
So yeah, Eric, I used to go in the store and I'd spend, in a day's time I stopped on the way up, stopped on the way, I would spend $20, $25 a day just on snacks and stuff like that. Just like the snack cakes that you held up a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can actually save money on your grocery bill with this program. So If anybody wants to know more about the program, and I know that we've kind of been generic with it, we called it the program, but I want to talk to you about it. I want to tell you in detail more about the program, because there is more to tell you about the program. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, a lot of you got my number. You can message me on Facebook Messenger, or however you want to. I'll be glad to tell you about it, because as truck drivers, y'all know that we have got to stay healthy. 49 CFR 391.41 says that we got to be medically qualified to hold that CDL. And I know that sometimes drivers are pushing the limit on that. So I can help you. And if I can't get you the answers, Jeff can get you the answer. And if Jeff can't get you answers, we'll go to Grady. We'll get you answers on this. But I can testify and tell you that the program absolutely works. Absolutely works. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, especially for truckers and trying to change into a healthier lifestyle. Yeah, out on the road, like you said, there's so many bad choices you could make, and I know I'm guilty. I make bad choices about what I eat every day when I shouldn't. Especially with my health issues, I need to eat healthier. I mean, I bring a lot of healthy meals with me, but you still get those cravings for the Little Debbie snack cakes or Reese's, or my go-to is pretzels. But I always keep a jar of peanuts and mixed nuts like almonds and cashews. So I try and pick on them more than everything else. But it's hard when you get those sugar cravings. And a lot of drivers, they don't get the proper exercise while they're out there. I'm one of the lucky ones working on a dollar account where I'm pushing freight every day. I'm running around. I'm doing 10, 12,000 steps a day. So it's all about the exercise portion too, right?
Absolutely. But you can lose weight on this program, and that's one thing about it. And Jeff told me about this up front, that you don't have to exercise with this program to lose weight, right, Jeff?
That's exactly right. It's one of the things that we talk about, because I have a lady that weighs 462 pounds that started the plan with me 3 weeks ago. She's perfectly healthy, but she can't get out of the bed because her body cannot stand the weight for her to walk, and she can't exercise, she can't do anything, and she's losing weight. And our goal with her is not a weight loss number. It is, we want her to be able to stand up and walk. And I want that to happen, and I'm going to go with her and walk in to see her doctor when she gets to the point. So we're working on things so it can be done without exercise. But if you add the exercise, even better.
That's right. Well, we have come to the post-truck trip part of the show here, as I call it, and we're actually over time a little bit. But Eric, it's been great having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
Thoroughly enjoyed your story there. Jeff, and I know Grady's already gone off, done logged off. I think he had to pick his son up or something. But thank you for coming and sharing your insights and your testimony about your weight loss journey and becoming healthy. Steve, as always, I appreciate you hosting the show with me. Steve, words of wisdom as far as safety goes before we go off there.
Thanks again, gentlemen. Appreciate you coming on. I'm going to check into this. I think everybody out there ought to give it a try. Just check into it, see what you come up with. Just like I told them kids all week, I've got a motto out here that I like to say: the most important trip is that trip home. Put them phones down. Drive safe, everybody. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I want to say, go ahead.
I just have one saying that I always say whenever I end a call with a driver or something. Remember, one safe mile at a time, one safe delivery at a time. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, it's been great. I don't think we'll have a show next week because we're going to be on the eve of the Safety Drive for a Cure in Atlanta, raising money for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. We'll get geared back up after that, and we hope to see a lot of you there. If you see me there or see Steve there, y'all come up to us and introduce yourself. And we'll see you at the Safety Drive on Friday, March the 16th. And just looking forward. That's Saturday, March the 16th. I'm sorry. Saturday, March the 16th. So we look forward to having a good time and raising a lot of money for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. Tomorrow's Friday. Y'all watch out for a lot of people out there on the highway. People's going to be going to and fro, getting to where they want to on the weekend. And one thing that we got to do is we got to look out for those who aren't looking out for themselves. All right. So, hey, y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next week, week after next.